Hello everyone, this is Professor Robert Solis. Welcome to this video lesson. We're going to be talking about the if statement, specifically dealing with the Talbot grade scale. Now, when I went to Biola University and I attended the Talbot School of Theology, one of the things that I noticed is their grade scale is pretty severe. Check this out. You get an A plus if you get anything that's greater or equal to 96. And an A is worth 94.95, an A minus 92.93, a B plus, wow, you get a 90, and that's a B plus. A B is an 88 or 89, B minus is an 86 or 87, and then if you get a C, then you're kicked out of graduate school because you need to be earning these higher grades if you're going to be in graduate school. So let's go ahead and create a program that allows the user to enter a score, and then we're going to display a comment based on that particular score. So let me switch back over here to Visual Studio. Actually, that's not Visual Studio. And I'm going to create a new project. And we'll say C++. This is going to be a Win32 console application. So this will be CS225. We'll say selection structure. And I'll put the word Talbot here, so I'll know that this is the Talbot project. And then we're going to click Next, Empty Project, Finish. We now have to create a C++ file. And the way that we're going to do that is to use the Solution Explorer. We're going to click on the Solution Explorer. We're going to right-click on Source Files. We're going to hover on top of Add, and then click New Item. This next dialog is asking us what kind of C++, or not what kind rather, but a C++ or a header file. In this case, we want a C++ file, so I'll tap that. It's going to give the name of the file source.cpp, and that's fine, so I'll just tap Add. Now, the first thing that we're going to do is to type in our initial boilerplate code, which is going to include IOStream. And since I'm going to be dealing with strings, I better go ahead and include the string library as well. So we'll say string. We're going to say using namespace std to include that standard library. And then we're going to type in main. I'll type in system pause. Now note that because I'm using system pause, this is only going to work with Windows operating system, right? This C++ program is not portable per se. That's all right because we're working primarily with Windows inside of the for this particular course. But I'm going to type some comments like declarations, get, user input, calculation, or maybe calculations, and then output. So this is the standard comments that you will type because that's exactly what you're doing. You're declaring a bunch of things, you're going to get the user input, you're going to perform some sort of a calculation, and then you're going to generate an output. It may be that you need one of these or both of these or maybe none of these. It just depends on your program, but in general, this is what I want you to do to start off your programs. Well, the first thing that I think about is what is it that the user is going to give to me? Well, the user definitely is going to give me some sort of a score. And then based on that score, I'm going to generate a comment. So if I'm going to generate a comment, I'll go ahead and type in the word comment. And I'll set it to nothing if that's what you want to do. You want to initialize that to some initial value. Then I'll just simply set it to nothing. And then I'm going to go ahead and get the input. Now, it may be that I have not created all the declarations that I need. That's okay. I can always go back if I realize I need this particular variable or that particular variable. So in this case, I'm going to use the cout statement, and I want to say enter your score. And then I'm going to use the cin statement to obtain that and put that into the variable score. Well, now that I have the score, I can perform my calculation. So if the score, let me put that in parentheses, if the score is greater than or equal to 96, if that is the case, then the comment is going to be, and let me go back over here to my Word document. It looks like the comment is going to be excellent. Okay, so we'll go back over here and we'll say excellent. And we're going to put that inside of quotation marks because this is a string. And if that's not the case, then we'll say else if, parens, if the score is greater than or equal to 94. And then if that's the case, it looks like the comment, right, for I'm sorry, for a score that's greater than or equal to 94, that's going to be above average. And I also forgot to give the grade, so maybe I should say you got a A, or you got an A, and then the statement will be above average. So let me go back over here and make that statement. So we'll say comment, comment, and you got an A. And then we'll say above average. And let me go ahead and make that correction here. You got an A plus. And then excellent. And so forth and so on. Now, I'm going to take this else if statement, copy and paste it. And if this thing is greater than or equal to 92, then obviously that's going to be a minus. And we'll just simply say average. And let me just double check my work. Yep, A minus, greater than or equal to 92, average. And then B plus is greater than or equal to 90, below average is the comment. So let me go ahead and paste. And we'll say 90. Whoops, double click on that. 90. And you got a B plus. And that's going to be below average is the statement. For here, that's going to be 88, which means that you got a B. And in this graduate school, that's a cautionary grade. So we'll say caution, because you're very close to being on probation, academic probation. And so then over here, we'll say 86. And for 86, that's probation, go home. Ooh, so stern. All right, you got a B minus. Get rid of that. And probation. And I also want to display within quotation marks, so I'm going to use the backslash quote, go home, backslash quote. And that is, the backslash quote is the escape sequence that's allowing me to actually display a quotation mark in my string. So I'm going to say quote, go home, close quote, and then this outer quote is to match this outer quote over here, this inner quote, to indicate that this is a comment. Well, now that I've finished generating my statements, I can just simply say cout, whatever comment happens to be. I'm also going to put an end else statement, so we'll go to the beginning of the next line. And let's run our program and see what happens. So we're going to build it. And now I'm going to enter a score. And let's say that I test out first with a 97. Enter. You got an A plus, excellent. Okay, good. Let me run the program again. Let's see what happens if I got a 70, say for example. All right, nothing happens. So maybe we should consider anything less than, let's see, let me press any key here. Anything less than or equal to 86. Actually, I shouldn't even consider that, because if you got a grade, oops, sorry, let me undo. If I got a grade that is less than 86, then I get kicked out, right? I'm just on probation with a score that's greater than or equal to 86. So maybe what I should do is this. I should say else comment is you are no longer able to attend in this graduate program. Something like that. And I'll put a semicolon over here. I don't need this output panel. Okay, so let me build it, or rebuild is fine as well. Build succeeded. Okay, I don't have any problems. And so now I'm going to go ahead and run the program. And let's say I type in 70 this time. You are no longer able to attend in the graduate program. In this. You are no longer, it has nothing to do with ability. You are no longer allowed to attend this graduate program. Okay, I like that better. And now I'm going to run the program, and let's go ahead and type in some other grades just to make sure that this works. And so let's say that we have a score of 94. You got an A above average. Okay, that works. Let's see, how about an 86? Okay, you got a B minus, you're on probation, go home. What about an 85? You are no longer allowed to attend this graduate program. All right, good. So it looks like our program works. And the thing that I want to point out to you is that you'll see the scores are, the if statements rather, are placed in descending order. So notice I have greater than or equal to 96. Then I have greater than or equal to 94. Well, obviously I don't mean 96, 97, 98 because that's covered by this. So in other words, when we're executing the program, we're going to be executing this top down. And if the score is 96, this is the first if statement that would be encountered. So this portion of the if statement deals with 96. But what if it's 94, say, for example? Well, is 94 greater than or equal to 96? No, it's not. So then we go down to the next if statement or else if statement and see if whether or not this deals with a score of 94. And in fact, it does. Let's do worst case scenario. Let's say, well, not a worst case scenario. How about 89? Okay. Does this if statement deal with an 89? No. How about this one? No. 89 is not greater than 94. How about this one? Nope. 89 is not greater than 92. Nope. 89. Nope. How about this? Is 89 greater than or equal to 88? Yes. So this would be the first else if statement that would deal with a score of 89, and therefore your comment would be you got to be caution. And then at this point you would jump out. You wouldn't execute the additional else if or else statement. You would just simply jump out, perform the next programming statement, which is going to be this one right here. By the way, I have no idea why the C out has a red squiggly underline, because we're fine, right? I mean, we are outputting a value. Oh, maybe it's because, no, I have no idea why this is. I just know it works, because check this out. When I click rebuild or build, and then down here, rebuild all succeeded. So maybe that's a bug in the system, or maybe there's something going on that I don't know about. But in this case, it works. I can run the program. It's going to display a score. 89, say, for example. Yep, you got to be caution. And that's it. So I think we've got our program that satisfies the conditions given to us. This is Professor Robert Solis. I hope this video lesson was helpful. You guys have a good day. We'll see you next time.